Hi everyone, I'm Danny Hauger. I'm a teacher in the East Bay. It's my 5th year teaching after years of TV and radio broadcasting down in Southern California. I made the transition. I wanted to transition to teaching because I wanted to do something I thought had a bigger impact on the world than just reading baseball scores every day for the Los Angeles Angels, although that was pretty awesome. This is a way for me to connect with students and really train every future professional who will benefit this world in the future. And teaching was all about thinking about my impact. Could I do more than reading traffic reports and giving the Angels baseball scores every day? And I thought the answer was yes. In my 5 years of teaching, I have found that the key to success is really thinking about planning for my classroom like an audience, just like I would for broadcasting. That's why I wrote this book, A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching. I put together all of the materials that have helped me in my early years of teaching, using the skills and information and presentation that I developed in the world of radio and TV, and bringing that into a classroom setting, because it's very similar if you think about it. Your audience is right in front of you. You have material, which are your standards and your lesson plans, and you have a certain amount of time to get that information across. And how well is it tracking with your students? I don't want you to redo everything, but I want you to consider it from this perspective. If you were a show, would students turn the remote? Would they change the channel? And what can you do to create your signature style that'll make students really excited about coming into your classroom and being a part of your classroom community? I'll just go over very quickly some of the things that you can find in this book if you're interested, and you can find it on Teachers Pay Teachers or on Amazon Kindle. It's called A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching, and in the first chapter we talk about that this is your show and how much your students are with you so many hours of the day and what impact you can have with them if you focus in on your message. In chapter 2, I give you some tips for recording your voice for free and listening to yourself as if you were a student's perspective, and consider what they might think, who's being ostracized, who's not getting the message, and who you could cater your message to be more effective. In chapter 3, I talk about how important it is to know your audience and build that community, because it takes a little time, but it pays dividends just like a checking account, growing compound interest over time, and reduces problems in the long run. Then I talk about foreselling and backselling your lesson, just like a radio broadcaster would, to keep you interested throughout the program. What's coming next? Why should I stay tuned? What interesting things are happening, and what did we do today at the end of the day? And then how to incorporate your classroom to make things more dynamic, to get out of the pages of the book and into more experiential learning and activities and project-based learning. So I'm hoping you'll check out the book if you're interested. Also recently, I was so thrilled because my podcast, Inspiring Teachers, which has recorded over 50 episodes since we started in 2018, interviewing teachers and exploring the why of teaching all over the world to combat burnout and talk about why our profession is so amazing. You can find that on iTunes or at inspiringteachers.podbean.com. And I love doing this show because I think some teachers get the sense of, how can you do all this? How do you have time for all these activities? But what I find is doing these things doesn't make me more tired. It makes me more energized and focused, because I see how many passionate teachers there are around the United States. So we hosted a big event at St. Mary's College, the Action Research Conference, and I interviewed professors and doctoral candidates and researchers and presenters, Dr. Heidi Marie Rambo, and so many amazing people right here in the East Bay that are doing all they can to make education special. And here's a couple clips from that event.
Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, as they explore the why of teaching.
Welcome to a live edition at St. Mary's College of Inspiring Teachers. I'm Danny Hauger.
I'm Davis Beam.
And we are here, the hosts of Inspiring Teachers, broadcasting live. So proud to be recording at St. Mary's College for the annual Action Research Conference.
Is we look at things through a research lens. We look at what works, we look at what doesn't work.
Josh ingratiated himself to a lot of the teachers at our high school. It was Teacher Appreciation this week, and he had each of his students write thank you notes to teachers that had inspired them. Keyword inspiring, hashtag inspiring teachers. And I thought that was really cool. I got a few notes, and it was meaningful and kind of perks up your day, perks up your week.
It just struck me as something that, especially in one of the hardest times of the school year, is you're just trying to get there through those last 5 or 6 weeks, that everybody can use a pick-me-up.
Oh, I know you're a big fan of podcasts and being a guest on them, so we appreciate you gracing us with your presence today. Sarah is a high school teacher. What is your subject of teaching?
So I teach English. So my action research question was, how does participating in reciprocal teaching impact student engagement? So reciprocal teaching is a particular reading and engagement strategy where students have different literacy roles, and then they rotate through those roles to participate in the discussion.
I'm glad you defined it because, of course, a knowing teacher like I knows all about reciprocal teaching. I mean, I reciprocal every day. Yeah. But for others, it may not be the case.
Very exciting to introduce to a bunch of high school students. Okay. Yeah, the 5-4, guys.
Yeah,
and they just kind of stare at you. And then they realize it's awesome.
So what is this saying about their feeling of self and how they're interacting with you as an individual, and how are you promoting or contributing to those positive sense of self on the part of your students?
So to summarize, this journey of education is magical, and it's everything that you want to make it. It's as much effort as you're willing to invest. And for me, what I consider is, if it's going to make me a better teacher or make me be more cognizant of who I am as a teacher, striving to improve, I know I will be better years from now than I am now. But with the resources and the knowledge and the education and the amount of entertainment and quick attention spans that our students have, we owe it to them to explore ways to become more efficient, more energetic, and more dynamic, because everything we do just a little bit more entertaining, engaging, will create more learning moments in the classroom. So it's not a way of doing everything new. I wrote this book to try to enhance what you are already doing, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. Finally, you can listen to the Inspiring Teachers podcast and subscribe, and I hope you will. I also do the Danny Hauger music podcast where I do a free song every week, and I'm trying to leave an impact on the world to hopefully leave it a little bit better, and I'm sure a lot of the teachers in this room and educators and facilitators of education want the very same thing. So think about this. Would your students tune out, and how can you make your program more engaging? Good luck to all of you in your future of education. You can reach out to me directly if you'd like at dannyhauger.com, and I hope to speak or see you on Twitter at Danny Hauger or at Show Teachers. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being involved in education and doing everything you can to make our future even brighter. Thanks.